So this also sounds familiar. We have a head of intelligence in Tulsi Gabbard who said one moment that there was no evidence that Iran was actually capable of creating nuclear bombs. And then Trump, having come out and contradicted her, she then backpedaled and said it was possible they would have the ability in a few months.
Yeah, she's toast. So the head that will roll here is hers.
Tulsi Gabbard's head will roll, you think?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Go on.
No, I mean that's what everybody inside the White House is clucking over her. I mean, she's the one. If there is MAGA blame to go around, it's going to fall on her. There's a lot of now backpedaling. He never liked her. She was forced on him. This is also, by the way, not true.
Who was she forced on him by?
There's this they. but I know an interesting fact about her that in the first administration, I don't think anybody knows this. She was the runner-up to the UN ambassador slot.
Oh, she was.
She was a Democrat then,
I was going to say, wasn't she a Democrat then? Interesting. So you think she's toast? She's gone?
I do, yes.
And can we talk about the television of it all? Because I was very struck watching Donald Trump come out to explain what had happened, that this was a moment that normally you expect presidents to be on their own. You think of President Obama talking about bin Laden being assassinated, in the East Room, quiet, gravitas, powerful. And this felt like Donald Trump came out, and I wrote a piece about it, saying he was like Gladys Knight with the Pips behind him. I mean, these are supporting backup dancers to his presidential role.
The big issue right now, second only to what's going to happen in Iran and how are they going to respond, is how the MAGA, his coalition, is going to respond. And I think he is genuinely worried about this, and I think he should be worried. I'm not really. I mean, this is among. There are two fundamental things in this coalition: immigration and war. I mean, those two things. I mean, everything else is fungible. It can be compromised. I'm not sure those things can be.
Pete Hegseth has gone to great lengths in his press conference today to say this is not war, it's a surgical operation.
Last night on President Trump's orders, U.S. Central Command conducted a precision strike in the middle of the night against 3 nuclear facilities in Iran.
Yes, the message has to be walk back. That's a message to the MAGA people. That this is not, we're not really doing this. Pay no attention.
And also that it's worked, it's obliterated, we're done here, moving on.
There are basically 3 things that can happen here. There is, yes, the Iranians could say, okay, yeah, we give up and you're right, and we'll agree to whatever we have to agree to keep our jobs and our lives. Yeah. That's possible, I suppose. The other point is protracted war. That and let me note that they continue to attack Israel in a way that Israel has not been attacked possibly ever before. So this is I mean, Israel is now under attack. So the Iranians, who are theoretically leveled, or theoretically we control the airspace where everything's going our way, are continuing to kill Israeli civilians on a daily basis. And then there's the other regime change thing, and which Trump seems to be enthusiastic about at this point, where he's off script there. But, and what does that mean? What does it always mean? It means years of instability, terrorism, dirty bombs, suitcase bombs. The idea that this is just one surgical strike is wishful, I suppose, at best.
So when you saw Donald Trump come out with the three pips behind him, the three backup dancers, what did you think in terms of them jostling for position? There was a very interesting moment when J.D. Vance went directly to Trump's right. Marco Rubio comes out. Pete Hegseth stands behind Rubio trying to get next to Trump. Rubio immediately shimmies up to Trump. There's going to be no gap there. He's trying to indicate, this is a person for whom power is about proximity to Donald Trump, clearly. And then Pete Hegseth is sort of pushed to the left of Trump behind Marco Rubio. It felt sort of significant somehow, inadvertently significant.
Remember, they don't know what Trump is thinking. So they are only marginally less out in the cold than we are. They are literally guessing at all times. And I think part of that guessing is to be close. Part of that guessing is to position yourself as though you know what he's thinking. But none of them do. None of them know really what's going to happen. It's not as if this is a circle which Trump is constantly consulting. That they're positioned as a kind of a brain trust there. But this is a brain dead trust.
Well, and he did warn them. He said, nobody knows what I'm going to do on Friday, right? He did say, he signaled.
And that is absolutely true. This is funny thing that everybody is now going out and say that everybody knows that this was, of course, a well-conceived, well-executed plan. No, nothing, because nobody knows from moment to moment what's on Donald Trump's mind.
Well, and to be fair, it seems that he doesn't know either.
No. It turns out the strong man is a ditherer, one of the great ditherers of all time. On the phone all Friday, should I, shouldn't I? What do you think I should do? I don't know what I should do. Fuck Tucker.
In another president, that might be thought that he was just, considering other people's opinions.
No, well, he doesn't listen to the other people. Remember, this is just everything is an open vein. He gets on the phone, you know exactly what he's thinking. And in this instance, he was thinking, I don't know what to do. These people are going to kill me. Kept coming back to Ted Cruz. Did you see that interview? Did you see Ted Cruz?
Well, of course, the Iranians also had an assassination plan for him last fall. Do you remember? They sent someone out who was instructed to try and kill him. And then if they weren't able to kill him in the first week that they'd been instructed to, they were then told to wait until after the election. The assumption the Iranians made was that Trump would lose the election. It would then be easier to assassinate him. Do you think that's even in Trump's mind?
Perhaps. And in fact, this was top of mind during the campaign. And then there was, I'm going to be caught up short here on the state, Montana, North Dakota. He was there with one of the Republican Senate candidates who won, I believe, and Trump had issued a thing because this was he knew the Iranians had set out, they were trying to do this, so he said no Iran talk, don't anybody talk about Iran, don't, because they're trying to kill me, don't, heads down about Iran. So all of the Trump people were going, oh God, and he was like, So yes, certainly at given points he has been very attentive to this, but attentive to the his mode was don't prod that beast because they're going to get me if we do.
Is he concerned about that still? I mean, it would be perfectly reasonable to be concerned about that given what's happened to him.
Yeah, that I don't know. I mean, I think that when you're the president of the United States, you actually do feel pretty protected.
Well, I would think that the security must have protected him even more since the weekend.
Yeah. So, but I think that he is. I mean, all of these things, he is and has been afraid, realistically afraid, in the way that Republicans usually are not, and the neocons certainly, of what can happen here. That there is this is one of the few areas where he seems precisely focused on cause and effect. And now we've decided to throw that out. We're defying that. We're just going to be focused on being a winner.
This podcast was produced by Devon Rogerino and Anna von Ursen, and it was edited by Devon too.